Anyway, so we're going to start this week with the talk about.
We have some
breaking news stories.
We have some unfortunate news today from the NFL. I don't know how many of you heard. Unfortunately, young linebacker from the Kansas City Chiefs, a gentleman by the name of Javon Belcher, starting linebacker, 25 years old, actually took the life of his girlfriend and then drove to the stadium, took his own life in front of the GM and the coach. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family, to the Kansas City Chiefs, to all the fans in Kansas City. This is absolutely stunning news. I don't know if I can remember anything like this ever happening in the NFL, but they are going to play the game tomorrow against the Carolina Panthers nonetheless.
That surprises me considering he committed the suicide in the Arrowhead parking lot and the game is in Arrowhead. It's amazing to me that the game would go on, but I don't know.
You never know what's going to happen.
Sometimes the show must go on. It's unfortunate. I hate to start a show off with something like this, but these things do happen. Hopefully, this is not a conversation we'll be having very often.
Our prayers are with him and his family, and I hope everybody recovers from such a tragic loss.
Absolutely.
It's just terrible.
Mario
could turn it to football now. What a game! What a game!
We're talking Alabama, Georgia, yeah,
in the Georgia Dome. Love the game. The running backs of the Crimson Tide were monstrous.
Mr. Lacey had a crazy game.
And
there's nothing like the SEC. I mean, that is the only actually football in the entire college conference.
It really is a terrific conference. It's semi-pro-like. There was just something at the end of the game that occurred, and I want to talk about it because there's an axiom in coaching: never lose a game before you absolutely need to. And I give Mark Richt, the Georgia coach, a lot of credit. With 2:30 left on the clock, with only 2 timeouts, not 3, he had to punt the ball and did. From his own, I think, 15-yard line.
And then relied on the defense.
He had a good punt with no return, relied on the defense, got the ball back. They worked the ball all the way to the 10, and on the last play of the game, he was throwing a corner pattern. The ball got tipped. The outlet back picked it up, and I mean, what are you gonna do? You gotta catch it. Instincts take over.
He slipped.
You catch the ball.
Him.
I mean, what would have been the best thing for the team is to knock that down and have another play. But how do you even say that? You can't think like that.
I think there was 4 seconds left on the clock.
They were at the 5-yard line with 4 seconds to go when the game ended. An instant classic, as they would say in ESPN. It was terrific. Great game, and the networks got what they wanted. So you suppose that a minute of commercial advertising increased by a full million with Bama playing Notre Dame?
This is definitely what the networks wanted to see this game. And now, all you Irish fans out there, if you want to prove to everyone that you truly are the #1 team in the country, well then you got what you needed to prove that.
This is like when the Steelers played the Packers in the Super Bowl. This is what college means right now.
And it'll only be that way for the next couple of years, because in 2015 is when they go into the
playoffs. Correct.
Well, 2015, we're going to get by December 21st this month, the Mayan calendar. But anyway.
Yes, let's your place or mine.
Yeah, exactly. We got to have
I'm taking my chances that we're going to be here for that for the 2015 season.
Now, if I could, before we get going, last week, all 3 of you, and I'm not including you, Marty.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Bobby D, Jonathan, and you
myself.
all love the Packers.
I know.
And my team made mincemeat of them.
That's right.
I only would have loved to have gotten your take on the game.
My take on the game is we can't look too much into that as Giant fans because the Packers looked that bad, that banged up, and they did throw the towel in the second half. It would have been too much to fight to get back in that game versus what they have to do the last 5 games. They did throw the towel in the second half of that game on the road. They did.
Where did they play last week?
In Giant Stadium.
Giant Stadium.
Well, it used to be Giant Stadium when we had a home field advantage. Now we share the stadium with the damn Jets, so you know there's no home field.
There's a lot of anger there.
And then the second thing I want to talk about, Jeffrey said, and I quote, "Watch out for my New England Patriots." Well, I haven't been that shocked since Elton John came out of the closet. It was a shocking statement for a Patriot fan to watch out for his team.
What else did I say in that statement, though?
I just was overwhelmed.
I said
shocked.
not because of the offense, but because of the defense. And the defense has been stepping up. Talib, Julian Edelman on special teams.
Well, Edelman had that ball flow right into his hands, but yeah, he's a money player.
I'm telling you right now.
And it's supposed to fall into his hands somewhere like that.
Well, that just popped out of nowhere on that kickoff, and it was like a gift came from above.
They are from above.
But it is against the Jets, so I mean, You never know what
It would
happens.
come from below, wouldn't it, or
It
something?
never happens.
Listen,
You never know what
New
happens
England
with
is
the
going
Jets.
to go on a roll right now. They're playing.
Well, they got the
very
softest
well.
schedule in the NFL. They played a cream puff
Easy,
schedule
come
in the
on.
last 5 weeks. You
Not
want to tell you
all,
they
not
played?
all of us can play Cincinnati.
Okay, so
Cincinnati is,
let's
oh,
play
by the
fair.
way, another thing I did not agree with you on the show, and for you out there listening, however many you
All
are,
4 of you.
I was not here last week, so I saw the show on YouTube. I do not agree with you that Cincinnati is soft. I've been on them
I
this
didn't
year.
say they were soft.
You two quote, oh, wait a
Here
second.
we go.
Wait,
What's
I'm
going on,
going
ladies
back.
and
Hold on.
I knew with Mario having a whole week
I
off
am
being-
30, I'm coming out of the party.
Here we
She was
go.
in New York at the game.
I resemble-
watching the
I
game.
resemble-
Last
I knew
week,
it would be something fun.
Bengals are nothing special, quote. And I
That's not
agree.
soft.
They scored 33 touchdowns this year. That's 7 more than the other 2 teams vying for the wild card in their conference. They can play defense. If they had a top echelon coach like
If.
Belichick or Tomlinson,
If
they would be at the top of the heap. I like
maybe
the Rocket, I like the
Maybe
receivers.
Bill Cowher will
That
come out
team
of
can beat
retirement.
anybody in the playoffs. And they're 3-2 on the road, which is what you need come playoff time. And they can score, and they're tough, and they're big play oriented. I don't want to play the Bengals if I'm a team like the Patriots, because I could get upset.
Well, let's not get ahead of this too
I'm
much.
gonna
Let's start,
stick-
gentlemen, let's
I'm
just
just saying.
start. No, we have to play fair, gentlemen. So, okay, let's start with the Thursday night game. Let's talk a little bit about the Falcons and the Saints. Jeffrey with the G, what do you think about that
I
game?
was so disappointed in this game. Actually, Mario and I watched this game together.
And we bet the Saints
we
together.
both like the
In the
Saints.
same room you watched it?
Yes, in the
Wow.
same room, over a beer, watching the game, and we were both absolutely stunned. Both of the play calling of the Saints, and I gotta tell you, the last 2 weeks, I don't know if it's talking Drew Brees or his offensive line is not giving him any time to make plays. He's just, I don't know what's going on here. This is not the same team I've been watching for the last 3 years.
Well, I got to tell you something. For a team that relies on pass blocking like they do to defend, to protect Breeze, they lost their All-Pro, 2-time All-Pro guard to the Bucks, Knicks. And I think they missed that guy. And who is surging in that same division? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I know they got a new coach too, but you know, these linemen, they don't get enough credit. And the second thing I'm going to say about that game, Drew Brees is suffering from mental fatigue. He is trying to carry that team to the promised land.
That's
And
right.
I think maybe the pressure is off from now that the season is theoretically done and he could relax. But he tried to be head coach and quarterback, and that's just too much to undertake.
Losing a coach is a problem. So anyway, gentlemen, we're going to take a break here pretty soon, but I want to thank Jonathan Scott for going over to Toys for Tots at the LVH. We're doing a big show tonight. A lot of entertainers, a lot of great things happening over there. I'm sitting in for Jonathan. He's here every week diligently, so they turned it over to me this week for some strange reason. Don't know why.
Murphy's Law.
It's Murphy's Law. We are coming to you live from Murphy's Law, actually, where you can bet all the time, drink all the time, eat all the time, 24 hours a day, anything you'd like to do.
Good food too, very good food.
It is good food. We don't have any here today, and but generally we might eat.
There's a
after
lot
the show.
more room on the table, I noticed, without
Usually-
Jonathan.
It
here.
is.
Usually there's nachos and chili.
The
and-
buffet is closed for the day, but the kitchen is open. If you happen to be outside in the lobby, you can actually eat there. But here, we're just not eating as we speak. So anyway, gentlemen, again, if you get a chance, LVH Last Minute Toys for Tots, filling in for Jonathan Scott. He's done a great job all year long.
He
But he's doing a great
Great
thing.
voice
He's
too
raising
for
money kids.
radio, he has.
So anyway, he does. He just does a fantastic job. He's been on a lot of shows. He's done a lot of things. He's done well, and I just want to tell everybody he's doing it, just raising more money, and Toys for Tots is a great show to do it for. All right, well, we'll see you back in the next break.
I just saw breaking news across the bottom line that Rick Majerus passed away about 2 hours ago.
Majerus?
Yeah, the coach, basketball coach. 64 years old, died a few hours ago.
Everything all right? Everything good?
Right, well, we didn't even get to the first game on Sunday.
Well, you know, you're going to
It's all right.
all that.
We had extra time.
Diatribe. There was nothing diatribish about that. I talk about that.
Telling me I said Cincinnati soft.
Cincinnati, nothing special.
Special, and they're not.
But at least I had it.
Wrangling, like hurting kittens.
Last week you said Bengals are
You
nothing
said.
special.
Whatever you
You said.
I wrote it like I said.
You.
I'm disgusted with the
female code,
tweet.
isn't
How dare you call me a you? The two
Jamil and I are
youths.
on a whirlwind. So you must mention my shot today, please, because if I mention
I was
it,
going to bet him on the air that you get a Eagle sometime this year, and then you screwed it up.
I've never done anything in my life.
Jeff, you're a betting man, are you? So let's bet. Sometime this year.
Junior gave it away. She yelled it out. He got an eagle.
Yeah, she did. She win $5 out of the guy. Just live on the air.
I want to know who was there with you when you hit the eagle.
Yeah.
Camille, and Paul Schwartz, and Tommy Nally.
All finished the whole game. So
Yeah, we played 18 holes, we had a good time.
he played pretty much the first game.
Never got an eagle from 149.
And I got $100 for it.
For what?
Because Paul was giving anybody that birdied from off the green $100. Now, I think I should have got 200.
Whoa. That was your second shot. You weren't off the. Oh,
It's a
off the
fundraiser.
green.
It's okay. Yeah.
No, I was very happy to get $100. Plus, Paul took care of the golf, so not Paul Tyra, Paul Schwartz. You know, you can't play with that.
So for all of you out there, Mario is now $100 richer. We'll be buying drinks for everyone.
Yeah.
After the show.
All right, after the show. Well, after the show. Come back at 3 in the morning. I'll be here. Get off your knees. We're going to a party.
15 seconds, my friend.
Come on. Hey, this is all on YouTube. You can sit right there. This is all on
10
YouTube.
seconds.
All right.
Mine too.
Let's come right to the first game because we're never going to get through.
Talking to you live from Murphy's Law on East East Flamingo, just past the Maryland Park. I just want to see if you guys are awake and you sleep sometime. Just let me tell you one little promo we're doing here at Murphy's Law. If you're coming to get a 4 of a kind, we're giving away on December 14th at 8 o'clock. We're giving away $500 if you actually come in and hit a 4 of a kind. We put a drawing ticket in the bucket, and Jeffrey knows all about it. You know, he's got a few in the bucket himself because he made a few 4 of a kinds. And if you happen to be here when you're here, we double it to $1,000. That's 8 o'clock, the 14th of December. Here at Murphy's Law, we're giving away this incredible
That
prize.
is 2 weeks from last night, 2 Fridays from now. Be here at 8 o'clock.
Exactly, 8 o'clock.
And we're going to be doing the drawing, and there's no reason for you not to be here to have a great meal, not to mention to have the opportunity to win $1,000.
Exactly. It's a fun time. It's great food, great environment, open 24 hours a day, just east of Maryland Parkway. Murphy's Law, that's where we're coming from. So let's get to the games. Last week, just so I want to bring this up, since I was making my great choices last week, I did win 9 games and lose 6 with my incredible insight into the game. But we'll just get past that. We'll get right to the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. Mario, what do you think about this Bears and the Seahawks?
Well, I think it's about time for the Seahawks December swoon, and it's going to start tomorrow. Wilson will struggle in this game. One of my favorite sites, Vegas Experts, shows that the Seahawks have the 31st ranked road passing team, and the Bears have the number 2 overall defense. This is a bad concoction. I think they're going to get their coming up ins here, and I see the Bears having a big day with Brandon Marshall taking extra Viagra before the game so he can run faster and longer down the field and catch Cutler's bombs. But Hester's out. Forte's healthy though, but Cutler's the difference. They're going to win this game in a low-scoring affair, but they still will win by 10. I see this being like a 17-7 game. I see the Seahawks scoring as little as that this game.
You know, I had a Viagra once and I choked on it, and I got to just get done with a
Stiff neck.
Yes.
But it's true.
Do you agree there, Jeffrey with the G?
I do agree, which I'm sorry to say because I don't like agreeing with Mario very often, but
It's not easy.
I don't understand why this line is as low as it is, which is almost
right
like
in Denmark.
Exactly.
To quote
Something's
Shakespeare.
wrong here. I like the way the Bears have been playing. Cutler is back, Forte is back. I love what Michael Bush has done in his absence. The defense is strong. Seattle struggles on the road. I don't see why Chicago doesn't win this game by 10 or more points.
As I like them 10 in a low-scoring game
What's the
still.
line, 3.5?
3, 3.5, depending where you bet. The total's
Yeah.
7.5.
The Bears.
In Jonathan's absence, we have to go for the Bears. I agree with you. We hear all 3 people going for the Bears these days.
Hear that, Jonathan?
We got
For Jonathan, we're taking the Bears.
Yeah, we're taking the
This
Bears.
one's for John.
Just so you know. All right, let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. What does it look like to you, Jeffrey with the G?
Well, I like the Packers here. I mean, they're in Lambeau Field. The Vikings sort of match up very similarly the way they did it up against the Bears last week when they lost by 18 to Chicago. They're very one-dimensional.
But the Bears don't have the Packers don't have the Bears defense.
I
That's for
understand.
sure.
I understand that. So maybe instead of winning by 18, they'll only win by 10 or 14.
Well, the line's 7.5. Is it somewhere around there?
7.5, 8, depending where you bet.
So you going with the Bears?
The Packers are
covered. You going with the Bears?
Yeah. I think the Packers are going to come.
And Mario, you think so too?
I don't agree.
Coming off an embarrassing
Here we
loss
go.
against the Giants.
Well, they were embarrassed,
And
right?
Curious George.
But they look bad. they look bad. And you know what? There's a saying, it's now a pass-happy league. You don't need a feature running back. Well, look at the Packers struggling without a running back.
Okay, so,
they have no
you're going
running
with the
back.
Vikings, he's going with the Bears.
Yeah, but, well,
I mean, with the Packers, sorry.
yep. You know what? The one problem with this game is you do have a dome team on the road in December,
Outdoor.
playing outdoors.
In the cold.
And I hate that, but I'm going to take Adrian Peterson as his 5.8 yards per carry and take the 8-9 points with the Vikings.
Again, it's very hard as it is to do. I'm agreeing with Mario. I've got the Minnesota Vikings.
No wide receiver.
Percy Harvin's still out, and
Percy
boy,
Harvin.
has that really affected
7.5 is a lot to give up.
And it
That's
certainly
right.
helps a Packers team that doesn't have Clay Matthews or Mr. Woodson.
Woodson. Yeah, or Shields, the safety.
Yeah, a lot to give up. So, okay.
Craig
moving on.
Jennings is back though, and that's a, I'm sorry, but that's a feat.
I
Craig
agree.
Jennings is back. He has missed the last, what, 6 weeks?
Yes.
Well, welcome back, Craig Jennings. I'm glad you made it. So, San Francisco, St. Louis. What do you think, Jeffrey?
This is a kind of an interesting game, seeing as the two of them played 3 weeks ago on Monday night to a 24-24 tie. I'm going to say that the Niners are going to make up for what they didn't do 3 weeks ago. They're going to come into the Dome. I love what this team is doing right now. Mr. Harbaugh, Coach Harbaugh, has these guys playing on all cylinders. Colin Kaepernick, I love this kid. I don't think Alex Smith is going to sniff another.
He's starting. Colin's starting.
Yeah, of course.
Kaepernick's out.
And well, he should. I don't think Mr. Smith is going to sniff another starting snap this year if things keep going the way they are. I expect him to come into St. Louis and win this game by 10 or more points.
Well, the last game was a day game, not a Monday night, but I agree with you. They did just play. I do see, though, that sort of being an anomaly. I don't see this Niner team having as much trouble this time, although the Rams are home. For those that say you can't lose a job to injury, well, explain that to Tom Brady, Kurt Warner, and Tony Romo, who all got their first start through an injury from the quarterback that was in there. Kaepernick throws a better ball. He throws a tighter spiral, the nose is down, he stretches the field. I will say, though, that the Niners did
And he can run, by the way.
Yes, and he can run. And the Niners did need 2 defensive touchdowns to put the Saints away last week.
But it worked, so they got it.
It
They
did,
won a heck of a defense.
And you have the 28 scoring offense versus the #1 defense in the NFL. Having said everything I just said, and I don't think that it's going to be a repeat of 3 weeks ago, give me the Niners.
I'm thinking the over. I'm thinking the Niners. I'm thinking they'll easily cover 7 points. That's what it is right now, Jeffrey. So
Yeah, 7.5, give or take.
Maybe give or take.
Where
Maybe
you go.
Yeah, okay, we got it.
If you get 7.5, I'd buy it down to 7. How about that?
I'm with it. Would you really?
Yeah,
How much
absolutely.
would you spend for that? $10, $5?
It's going to cost you an extra 10 cents.
Extra 10 cents? That's not bad. That's not bad at
You
all.
lay 120 versus the usual 110.
Okay, sounds good. So anyway, I think the San Francisco is going to do it. They've got a great, the best defense, obviously, in the Rams. You know, what do you think of the coach of the Rams?
Love him.
I love
Jeff
the coach of the Rams.
I think you're not.
He's
And
incredible.
we could segue into the next game with the joke of a coach that is Rex Ryan, who has lost his team. The team's divided. Unlike the Arizona Cardinals, who are still with their coach Ken Wisenhunt, he's had no quarterback. I mean, it is so hard to play this game without a quarterback. He is questionable though this week, Kevin Cobb, but I don't see him coming back. Beanie is
He's
back.
playing Ryan Lindy.
He's doing it. Greg Skelton.
He might be doing the Lindy.
They misspelled his name on the jersey.
I could
That's
see
really bad.
Larry Fitz having one of those finally busting out of frustration games and getting 3 touchdowns. The Jets are horrible. Fire Marshal Bill even gave up on him. The guy in the stands with the Jet fireman hat.
Fireman Ed.
It was so, I know, it was so
Oh, he took
funny.
it off and gave it away, yeah.
No, he actually quit the New York
Well, he was
media.
getting like near pot shots
Yeah,
from
yeah.
other fans because he supported Sanchez, but that's
I know.
typical of the Jet fan.
Come
I mean,
on.
it really is. They're as bad as the Raider fan.
Wow.
You think I'm kidding? And you as a Patriot fan, I can't believe you would stick
And
up
you
for
share
Jet
it.
fans.
Listen, I'm not sticking up for the Jets, but the Jets fans are pretty loyal.
Tannenbaum is the worst GM in football. When you look at who he picked up late, LaDainian Tomlinson, Plaxico Burress,
Plaxico used to
Damian
be
Woody.
your man, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
until he
Super
shot
Bowl
himself and
something like that.
derailed us in 08. But let's not get into that.
You know, that's not bad. Did
He
he win a
and-
Super Bowl for you one
He
day?
and Sperano were
Wasn't
done.
that right?
Isn't Flax back with the Steelers now?
Woody Harrelson, Woody Johnson needs to fire all 3 of them and start new. That is a
I
guy
think-
with too much money
I
and
think
no
the front
football
starts with
acumen.
Woody Johnson.
He has no football acumen. I mean, to do what he's done with that team
Yes,
since
man,
he's
he
over.
flat out told you he was more interested in Romney winning the presidency than his team winning football games.
And he
I mean,
wonders
that
why his fans are
if that
disarray
doesn't
in the
say it
stands and
all-
ready to
Well,
revolt.
how'd that work for him?
Not so good.
And the Jets have 20 players on the injury report this week. The players don't even want to show
But
up.
Romney did have lunch with the president, the new current president and past president the other day.
Which past president? Clinton?
He was past then president. Since he was the last president, he's the current president. That would be Obama. So they did have lunch the other day. They're talking about maybe him going to work for him. I don't know what they're talking about, but.
So I like the Cardinals for every reason I described.
So you like the Cardinals?
And I like them on the money line. Did I just say money line?
Look, the Jets are favored by
Plus
4.5. How could that happen?
Plus 180.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Plus one, almost 2 to 1 with your money on the Cardinals. I love it.
The line is actually up to 5 in some places. I'm going to tell you something right now. In the famous words of Bobby D, I got a guy who knows a guy who told me a few things about this game. And I'm telling you right now, there is some big money coming in on the Jets.
I know.
So for no other reason than that, I'm taking green here. I'm taking the Jets, and I'll lay the 5 because I think this is one of those games that's under everyone's
But
radar.
you'll never do it again if you don't win this
that
one.
no one cares about.
Right?
And I think the Jets are just going to come out and pound the
Well, that was
out of the.
well, that was the Jet
Arizona
Ram game
Cardinals.
3 weeks ago. They
Well,
beat
you know,
the
I got-
Rams by 4 touchdowns.
I got the Cardinals. I
I got the Cardinals money line. You heard it here.
I got Moneyline Mario takes the Cardinals on Moneyline. Okay,
You're just taking
I've got
on
them too.
top.
So they're 5.5. No, that's no. Well, now I've changed my strategy. Even though it worked so well last week, extremely well, I still changed my strategy. So anyway, the Cardinals are. I've got the Cardinals too. How about the Panthers? Kansas City Chiefs. Does anybody care?
Well, hold on. In light of the story.
Yeah, in light of that, I don't even know how you handicap this game, which looked like a push to start with. It looked like 3 was going to be the win for the Panthers, but might it be more than that? And might the spread not
Well,
move?
3's actually a 6.
I only saw it
game.
move slightly
now,
this
yeah.
afternoon. It went from 3 to 3.5. I mean, listen. As a coach, I don't know how Cornell comes out and rallies the team. As a GM, Pioli is absolutely in shock. The team's in shock. They lost one of their guys. I mean,
And he did it in front of the GM and the coach.
But what's interesting is, as an opposing team, how do you come in? Like, I don't even know what to think if you're the opposing
You
team.
feel
coming
bad
in.
almost coming in.
I know, that's what I'm
Those poor
saying.
Chief fans.
Listen,
I mean, they've had a horrible run.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this game. I'm going to say this. I like the Panthers before today's incident. I like the Panthers going forward. It's 3, it's 3.5.
Yeah.
Casey's got nothing to play
And I think
for.
Steve Smith has finally a game. He gets back on track with Newton. Although I do think Newton focuses too much on himself. He runs way too much.
I like the Panthers.
But I'll take the
I like
Panthers.
I like
I'll
the
take
He
the
Panthers.
hasn't run nearly as much this year as he did last year.
But he's learning. He's been a couple. You
He
hit
had 4 touchdowns last week, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground.
I know.
I'll take it because of Cam Newton, and I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Very much a low-scoring game, only because of it's going to be a little melancholy. That whole.
I think it's going to be an unfortunate.
And anytime you lose somebody like that, anytime you lose a professional player like
That way.
it's just a tragic loss. But we don't want to belabor that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. So
Let's move on.
we'll move on. Let me move into a couple things. I want to thank Cadillac West, by the way, because they're sponsoring they're a huge sponsor in this Toys for Tots program over here at the LVH, which is a big concert with Louis Anderson and several, Pia Zadora, and gosh, I've heard so many people are going to be on there. Zoe Bowie,
Pia Zadora, really?
She's going to be on the show. Yeah, absolutely. Zoe, Gordy
spot
Brown.
for her.
Gordy Brown is
The best spot she's
as
got
good as
in
Danny
about 20
Gans ever was. God rest his soul. But Gordy Brown is incredible. But anyway, so it's again, Jonathan Scott is over there on the red carpet, probably as we speak, trying to get these people in and raise some money for raise some toys for Toys for Tots.
It's a great cause. Come on out, folks.
And also, by the way, it's we are coming live for you from Murphy's Law. Just thought I'd let you know in that. But the that in this 12-state area, this region, this is the largest event in this 12-state area that we actually have for Toys for Tots. I mean, I didn't know that until recently, but I mean, it's a big event. It's going to be 1,500 people there easily. I hope you guys will join me there afterwards. Mario?
Absolutely, we're
try
going to
to,
be
but I
there.
need to go to a.
It's a great cause. Mario's going to be there. He can't wait to meet Pia Zadora. And quite frankly, the point of the event is really for the kids.
Both of these co-hosts are going to be on the red carpet. If you want to see Mario Moneyline Mario, or
Wow.
or Jeffrey with a G, will do it. Coming to you live from Murphy's Law, 11:30 midnight. Come on over, gamble a little, drink a little, have a good time. We'll have it. You'll love it here.
Was that bad, the Pia